think of.
गुड़ नाल विश का मिठा हो ओए सरजीत आई छेती एक मिनट देखी
PartyGammon.com. Everyone's playing.
PartyGammon.com Million is the world's first ever $1 million backgammon tournament. Players from across the globe have descended on Paradise Island for what promises to be the backgammon event of the year. So let's get the dice rolling. The backgammon boards are set and our 8 remaining players prepare for the next round. It gets a bit more serious as the $600,000 first prize gets a little closer.
There have already been surprising defeats as some of our pros have been kicked to the curb while other feisty newcomers stamp their mark on this tournament.
Let's take a look at how the first round shaped up here at Atlantis.
128 players came to the Atlantis Ballroom here on Paradise Island for the biggest backgammon event in history. It's got the money, it's got the field, and over the first 2 days, the moves, cubes, and rolls to match. 20 different nations covering almost every continent, all here in the beautiful Bahamas. After all the hype and anticipation, the PartyGammon.com Million is finally here. Quarter-final draw, superstars like Mac Ballard and Ralph Jonas, Sander Liloff as an up-and-comer, and even internet qualifiers like Lasse Madsen. Over $1 million in the prize fund, including $600,000 plus to the winner.
There are many common mistakes made when playing backgammon, and some of our pros have already fallen victim to such errors. Julian Wilson is here to help you avoid these mistakes when playing your next game.
Hello, this is Julian Wilson. In our next tutorial, we're going to help you to try to avoid the common mistakes made by most beginners. Stacking, leaving, and running. When we talk about stacking, we mean putting too many of your men on a single point, creating inflexibility in your position, reducing your number of good rolls. Running, escaping all contact when there's very little chance of winning the game, and abandoning, moving men from those key anchor points, the bar and the 5 point, before it's time to do so. I've created 2 positions which will help you to understand and hopefully remember and recognize these mistakes yourself. Let's look at the board. In the position we're looking at, red has rolled a 2-1. Hitting is clearly important to establish the 5 point. The second move, the 2, is most commonly misplayed. It's easy to think safety is the right answer by taking the 13 point onto the bar point. But in this situation, it's much more important red has the flexibility in his position to cover this block. So the 2 should be played here. Superficially, this looks more risky. In reality, this is more likely to provide a stronger position more quickly for red. Like chess, the opening part of backgammon is governed by some well understood and agreed priorities. In chess, you focus on the center board. With backgammon, you focus on key points. Those key points are your 5 points, your bar point, your opponent's 5 points, and his or her bar point. Let's show you how key opening rolls are played to achieve those objectives. The 6-1 is one of the better opening rolls. No experts would disagree on how to play this. Take a man from your 13 point and cover it with the spare checker on the 8. That 7 point block prevents red from escaping with 6s. The 3-1 is arguably the best opening roll in backgammon. Your 5 point not only prevents a significant block to red's 4s, it also creates that valuable extra point in your home board. But of course you don't always get the nuts, as the poker players would call it. 4-2 and 5-3 are great opening rolls, establishing a second point in your home board. And the 6-5, taking a man from 24 to 18 and then to 13, escapes a man to the relative safety of your midpoint. Running behind is probably the single most important mistake to avoid. I've created a position here to help you recognize these situations and avoid them in your play. In the example we're looking at, red has rolled a 6-5. and he has the option to escape and free the counter on the 24 point by moving it all the way to the midpoint. It looks safe, sure, but closer inspection will reveal that that play means red has effectively lost the game. He would have to be incredibly lucky and roll significantly more numbers on the die than his opponent if he was to win from that position. How could he win? Staying behind gives red the chance of hitting one of black's stones if he has to leave a blot. The rolls of 6-2, 6-3 and 6-5 all mean black will leave an open stone which red can hit and win the game. That's red's only chance of winning from this position.
A simple acronym that may help you to remember the priorities for the opening play is BAR. Block, anchor, run. Block, create points in your home board that prevent your opponent escaping. Anchor, move your men to a point higher in your opponent's home board. Or run, taking your men all the way to the midpoint, preparing for the end game, the race.
The Danes love backgammon, as they're proven this week. 3 through to the quarters, and we caught up with Lasse Madsen after his victory in round 4. Well, this tournament's getting exciting. The final 8 make the money, and one player who's just reached that stage is Dane Lasse Madsen. Congratulations, Lasse.
Thank you.
And you came in on the internet. You're the first internet qualifier to be guaranteed $24,000. Has it sunk in yet?
Oh, not quite yet, but I'm getting there.
I mean, you're not a full-time backgammon player.
No, not at all.
But you just love the game?
Yeah, I love the game. It's for me, it's a big part is the intellectual challenge and all that stuff. It's interesting for me.
What is your style when you're playing in the game? Do you feel like you're a very aggressive player, or how would you characterize your play?
I like to play aggressively. I like to double aggressively, and I like to hit loose, and I like to play aggressively.
Madsen's Danish opponent is one of the most talked about players in Europe. In between rounds, we talked about Sander, backgammon, and life. A lot of the Danes and a lot of the Europeans, they rank you as one of the best players in the world, but you're not on the list of the giants of backgammon. You don't have any huge titles. Why do people think you play so well?
Well, because I do. I mean, the matches that I play are getting analyzed through computers, and the results are pretty well so far.
How did you get in backgammon? How long have you been playing?
I think I've been playing since like '98 or something, so I mean, wow. That's a long time now. It's like 9 years. And I started playing on the street, actually, in Copenhagen.
What sort of goals do you have as far as backgammon goes? I mean, winning this tournament, I guess, would be one.
Yeah, I mean, no, the goal is just to be on top and I mean, be one of the best players and try to win something once in a while. But it's not always easy winning. I mean, it's pretty tough. Like you said, I have no titles, really, yet.
How do you hope backgammon changes in the future? Do you see backgammon getting bigger, or is it really more of a specialist game?
Well, I definitely see it getting bigger. I mean, I wasn't around in 20 years ago, but I heard that they had spectacular events with a lot of people playing. But a tournament like this brings out the best in people and get more people to come.
Some of our top backgammon players have already been sent packing, while others continue in the race for the title to be the first ever PartyGammon.com Million Champion. Join us for more action after the break.
PartyGammon.com.